Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video of Be the Best DFS Daily Fantasy Sports Talk. Today is Monday, August 29th, 2016, and I'll be going over my FanDuel lineup strategy for tonight's main slate. Last time I put out a video was like on Thursday, the going fishing video, and that lineup, it just missed out on cashing in cash games. I had Tom Kohler. He put up 27 fantasy points, which was what I expected from him, but he wasn't able to get that win to get those 12 points, which would have gave him 39. I finished like 53rd, and 57th in out of 100 entry cash game tournaments on that particular night. The lesson I learned is that although Marlins Park is a pitcher's park, when you pick a pitcher for the Marlins, you got to be aware that their offense just isn't the same without Giancarlo Stanton. So you may not get that run support, and you may miss out on those 12 points that you definitely need in FanDuel. So that's my take on what happened on Thursday, last time I put out a video. You know what I say. The losses teach lessons. To count the wins is blessings. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday wasn't able to put out a video. I really didn't do too much. I think on Saturday I had a decent lineup, 157 points, and it cashed in one of the 50-50 contests. But all those days are over with. Today is a new day, a new opportunity to be great, a new opportunity to be the best. And I'm excited about tonight's slate. And the theme for this video is redemption, because I have to redeem myself for the not so good lineups I put out the last few days. So I definitely plan on redeeming myself, definitely plan on winning some money. Let's just get into this slate for tonight. All right, as always, we starting at the first position, the pitcher position. I'm going to talk about a cash game strategy because, the success rate for cash games are a little higher than the tournaments. So for cash games tonight, the pitcher that I like to use is Matt Boyd for 6,600 of the Detroit Tigers. Now, Boyd, he's not the best pitcher, but mainly that decision is a salary decision. If I had to say the best pitcher, the safest play for cash games for tonight, I would definitely say Porcello for the Boston Red Sox for 9,700. Make sure you listen to this statistic right here. I'm sure y'all probably already heard it. In 13 starts at home at Fenway this year, Porcello, he's 12-0 with a 2.96 ERA. I don't know how much safer it can get. He's undefeated at home, no losses, and an ERA that's under 3. They're playing against Tampa Bay, at home in Boston. So, if you're not too concerned about salary for pitchers, for cash games, your 50-50s and your head-to-heads, I believe that Rick Porcello is the safest play. And I really, really like him. But I just personally feel that there's a lot of offense out there tonight, especially when you consider there's a game at Coors Field. So I'm trying to find a way to spend less and also get a good cash game. So that's why I'll go back to Matt Boyd. All right, Matt Boyd, 6,600, playing against the Chicago White Sox. His last game was on August 24th. He had 42 fantasy points. The game before that, August 18th, 27 fantasy points. And the game before that, on August 13th at Texas, 42 fantasy points. So he shows that he has the potential to put up 40 fantasy points. He even has a game on the game log where he has 50 fantasy points. That was July 18th against the Minnesota Twins, 51 fantasy points. I'm sure you all will see on July 23rd, he played against the White Sox at U.S. Cellular Field at Chicago, and he only put up 22 fantasy points. But, the White Sox ballpark is a hitter's park, and it's on the road. Now, Boyd, he could be considered more of a tournament play because it is kind of risky. But at heart, I'm a tournament type of player. But I understand the concept for cash games. Now, when you look at the pitching matchup for the Chicago White Sox, James Shields, a lot of the players on the Detroit Tigers have good BVP statistics versus James Shields. I wrote it down. Let's see. Sorry. So for Detroit, Miguel Cabrera, he's batting .381 with 3 career home runs, a sample size of over 60 at bats. Victor Martinez batting .294, 1 career home run. J.D. Martinez batting .429 with 1 career home run. Ian Kinsler got, I believe, 3 home runs against him. Eric Ibar, he has a couple home runs against him. My reason for mentioning that, I really kind of believe the Tigers are in a good position to get the win tonight. They have a lot to play for. They're in the middle of a playoff race. So my thinking is that, being at home against a pitcher in James Shields who tends to struggle sometimes, maybe the Tigers can get the win, and hopefully Boyd can, pitch a good game and get those 12 points with the maybe 25 to 30 regular fantasy points that he would get, and hopefully have a point total of 37 to 42 fantasy points. And at a decent price of $6,600, it would allow me to, build the rest of my lineup with some, more expensive bets for this cash game play. So, that's who I like. Again, Porcello, I believe he's the safest play. And Boyd is someone I'm going to use. More of a tournament play, but I'm going to take a chance and use him in cash games. Other pitchers for cash games tonight. Of course, Jose Fernandez and Jake Arrieta, the top 2 salary players on the list for tonight. They could definitely have big games, but you have to keep in mind when you spend up on pitchers, it's going to make it harder to fill up the rest of your lineup. If you have the skill to, find a lot of value plays, I say go ahead. Definitely Arrieta at home, and Fernandez, he's good. It's a pitcher's part, but he's been kind of shaky on the road. So personally, I wouldn't mess with Jose Fernandez, but I definitely do see Arrieta could possibly have a good game. Hugh Darvish, he's a decent pitcher, but when I looked up the statistics, I think total as a whole, Seattle Mariners, their lineup is batting a career around 300 against them with a pretty good sample size. Christian Martinez, he could be good. Miller, they're playing against the Brewers. Miller Park in Milwaukee is a pitcher's park, but Milwaukee, they strike out a lot, and it's a National League game. Price tag of $9,700, and he's on the road. It could be kind of risky, but it could work out for cash games. I like Shoemaker a lot. I really like Shoemaker for $8,700. Let me read a couple things about him. His last three home games. I'm gonna read this off. August 18th, 42 fantasy points. That was versus Seattle. August 2nd versus Oakland, 39 fantasy points. And July 16th against the White Sox, 78 fantasy points. So his last 3 home games, he's got no lower than 39 fantasy points. Cincinnati, they are a team that can score, but I think Shoemaker is a safe play for cash games also. The only thing is his salary, $8,700 is kind of steep. And remember, this is for cash games, so the safe play is what I'm looking for. And that's about it I see for cash game. I think you can probably make a case for a lot of different pitchers for tournaments, because tournaments, is about being contrarian. But for cash games, you're looking for the safe play and the play that can get you a lot of points. And again, let me reiterate, I believe Rick Porcello for the Boston Red Sox is the top cash game play at $9,700. I'm taking more of a tournament approach, and I'm right now I'm gonna go with Matt Boyd for the Detroit Tigers for $6,600 for pitcher. All right, moving on to the rest of the lineup. All right, at catcher, top cash game play in my opinion would be Evan Gattis of the Houston Astros. Well, let me take that back. The top play would be Gary Sanchez. The guy is just amazing. We all know he's got 11 home runs on the season, batting .400, and only 22 games played. He's on like a historic pace. The matchup going against Dylan G, who is, I below average pitcher in my opinion. For 4,000, Gary Sanchez, he's definitely the top cash game play, but that salary price of 4,000 is just, it's kind of too high for me, so I couldn't mess with him today, especially at the catcher position where you tend to want to pay down. When I was looking at all the catchers, I think Evan Gattis is the best cash game play. 3,400, playing at Minute Maid Park at home, lefty versus righty matchup. His career versus Manea, he's 3 for 6 with 1 career home run. So Evan Gattis, if you can fit him in there, I definitely say he's a great cash game play for tonight. But his salary, they bumped it up from 3,000 and put it to 3,400. So I like Salvador Perez. That's who I got right now in my lineup. His career versus Michael Pineda. I had it written down. One moment. Okay, he's batting .353 with 1 career home run. I believe the sample size is 17 at bats. But the price tag of 3,000, that's just right. That's just the right price, to pay, considering all the higher price bets I'm going to pay for later on in my lineup. One thing to keep in mind, I know Perez, he kind of got hurt in the game last night. He stayed in the game while he was behind the plate. The baseball bounced up in the dirt and hit him in the throat. I saw that on Sunday Night Baseball, but he stayed in the game. But, at home versus Michael Pineda, he's a good pitcher, but good BVP statistics. I think Perez is a great cash game play for tonight. And at catcher, those are the only 3 catchers that I really. Oh, let me not forget. I'm sorry. Grandal, Coors Field, Yasmani Grandal for the Dodgers, but a high price tag of 3,600. So those are the top catchers I feel for cash games. Gary Sanchez, Grandal, Evan Gattis, who I really, really like. He's helped me out the last couple of nights when I picked him. And Salvador Perez. So because of the salary pricing, right now I got Salvador Perez. I feel he's pretty safe. Moving on to the next position. First base. Top cash game play. I would say it's a toss-up between David Ortiz and Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera, he has, like I mentioned, he has great BVP statistics versus James Shields. 60 at-bat sample size, 3 home runs, batting .381. And also David Ortiz, he has 1 career home run versus the pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays, Andresi, I believe that's how you pronounce it. But it's a lefty versus righty matchup. Big Papi, he homered last night. He's having a good season. He's batting .319, 31 home runs on the season. So he'll definitely be popular, and you're not trying to stray away from the chalk in cash games like how you are in tournaments. You're just trying to make the safe play. So I definitely feel that David Ortiz is safe, along with Miguel Cabrera. I'm gonna pick David Ortiz because I just feel that he's been mainly the fact that he homered on last night. I like that, and I just like Big Papi at Fenway. But Miguel Cabrera is in play. Edwin Encarnacion, definitely. Lefty versus righty matchup versus Wade Miley. The game is being played at Baltimore, Camden Yards, a good hitting environment. Let me see. He's batting .556 with 2 career home runs versus Wade Miley. So definitely, maybe I might try to find a way to fit him in there. But if you can find a way to fit Edwin Encarnacion in, I say definitely play him. He's probably the top cash game play now that I look at it. So definitely those 3 guys, Encarnacion for Toronto, Ortiz, and Miguel Cabrera. Also, you should consider the Coors Field effect. Adrian Gonzalez, Albert Pujols, he has good BVP statistics versus Dan Straley for Cincinnati. He's batting .375 with 1 career home run. I believe the sample size is 16 at bats. Santana, he has a career home run against Hector Santiago for Minnesota. Abreu, he has 1 career home run versus Boyd. Napoli, he's at a good price. If you need to save money, I think he'll be a good BVP. I'm sorry, good cash game play. Lefty versus righty matchup versus Santiago. He's at home. He has one career home run against Santiago, but only batting .214, and I believe it's like 15 at bats. Kenny Vargas would be a good tournament play for Minnesota. He's batting .538 with one career home run versus who's the pitcher for Cleveland? I'm sorry, I think it's Trevor Bauer. Okay. And I'm not going to go through the whole list of first basemen. Again, this is a cash game video. So, top plays, Edwin Encarnacion, David Ortiz, Miguel Cabrera, and Adrian Gonzalez. I think, of course, you have to consider everybody in that Rockies and Dodgers game because of the where the game is being played at. I'm going to move on to the next position, second base. You know, as you all know, certain positions you have to pay down for sometimes. And for right now, I'm paying down at second base. And I got Brandon Phillips in there. 2,600. He's below 3K. It may not be that good of a matchup, but I just think he's a viable option because of his salary pricing. But if you're not considering his salary, the best cash game plays tonight, in my opinion, will be Ian Kinsler and Jason Kipnis, and also Odor for the Texas Rangers. Kipnis, good BVP statistics versus Santiago. He's batting .333 with one career home run. I believe the sample size is 21 at bats. Definitely consider Coors Field. Chase Utley for the Dodgers. Lefty versus righty matchup. Ian Kinsler, like I mentioned earlier, I believe he has like at least 3 home runs against James Shields. Altuve, lefty versus righty matchup against the pitcher in Oakland and Manea, in a good ballpark for right-handed power at Minute Maid Field. So he could definitely be in play. Rugen Odor for the Texas Rangers. I think this was a BVP play. Odor, .333 with one career home run. So, you know, that's my take on second base. Like I said, for right now, I'm paying down for it. But the top plays for cash games, in my opinion, is, I would say Altuve, Kinsler, and Kipnis. You know, if you can afford them, plug them in. All right, third base. I really didn't analyze it much. I felt like this was a lot for cash game play. I'm not sure about tournaments, but Josh Donaldson for 4,400. He's the highest priced third baseman, but it's a lefty versus righty matchup in a good ballpark in Camden Yards. And we all know he hit 3 home runs on last night. So, in my opinion, for a tournament, I probably would fade him and try to save money and find someone else to use at a lower price. But for cash games, I feel that, you know, everybody know what he did yesterday. He's in a good matchup, lefty versus righty. He has one career home run against Wade Miley, although he's only batting like maybe 200, I believe. But you don't want to not have him and everybody in your cash game have him and you fall behind the crowd. So Josh Donaldson, he's my favorite cash game play tonight at third base. Other players to mention, I think Chris Bryant, of course, for 4,200, and both of the third basemen in the Coors Field game, Nolan Arenado and Justin Turner, they're both definitely in play. Although I hope this don't happen for tournaments, definitely consider Todd Frazier, lefty versus righty matchup versus Matt Boyd. But, you know, of course, I'm hoping Matt Boyd have a good game today. And another possible tournament play, Adrian Beltre for the Texas Rangers for 3,300. He's batting, I wrote it down, sorry. He's batting .289 with 3 career home runs versus Iwakuma. Good ballpark for hitting at the Rangers Stadium, so he could be a good tournament play. There could be a lot of other possible good tournament plays as well. But again, for cash games, I'm definitely going to use Donaldson. but I definitely say both the Coors Field outfielders, I'll put them second and third, no particular order. Nolan Arenado and Justin Turner, and also Chris Bryant because he's a great player. Maybe Machado, but I didn't really like his BVP statistics versus Estrada. But Machado, he's a great player also. You could possibly use him in cash games. Moving on to the next position of shortstop. Didn't do much analyzing. This was one of the plays that I felt like was a must play for cash games. Corey Seager for 4,400. Highest price shortstop on the slate. But what intrigues me about Seager, BVP statistics versus John Gray. He's batting .625 with one career home run. Lefty versus righty matchup. The game is at Coors Field. Like I said, similar to Donaldson, you don't want to be left out if he has a monster game. And he's definitely capable of having a strong fantasy performance. Just looking at his game log, August 22nd at Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark, 44.1 fantasy points. So he definitely has that potential. Now, I will say that John Gray, he's a good pitcher. So for tournaments, I may save money and try to pick someone else at a lower price than Seager. But for cash games, I'm playing it safe. I think Seager is that guy. In last position, outfield, I paid down at one of my outfield positions. I like Cameron Maybin. Good price below $3,000 at $2,800. Facing James Shield, he has a decent BVP statistics versus him. No home runs, but he's batting over 300 versus James Shield. So Maybin is one outfield. I'm not saying he's a great cash game play. That's just a salary move. But another outfield I like, y'all know this is one of my favorite guys to pick. Chris Davis for the Oakland Athletics at 3,300. Playing at Houston in that ballpark that's favorable to right-handed power. We all know he's a streaky type of player. He hit a home run on yesterday, had 28.4 fantasy points. Musgrove, he's not really that impressive of a pitcher to me. So Chris Davis at his price tag, I like him for cash games, mainly because of the ballpark. And it's just in his statistics, 34 home runs on the season. So he is considered a power hitter. So I think he's a viable option in the outfield for cash games. And then the last outfield I have for now, got some exposure to Coors Field. I don't know much about this guy. David Dahl for the Colorado Rockies. Lefty versus righty matchup. He's batting .325 on the season. 5 home runs. Game is at Coors Field. Maeda for the Dodgers. He is a good pitcher. But Dahl, he has one career home run against him. A limited sample size, but I try to always look at those BVP statistics. And just to talk about some other options in the outfield for cash games. Definitely, if you have the money, Harper, Betts, all the outfielders in Coors Field. Definitely George Springer, lefty versus righty matchup. Trey Turner. All the guys at the top as far as top price with salary, I think they're all in play for cash games. But I chose to spend up for Donaldson and Seager. Because I just feel like they're good cash game plays as well. So that's about it for my cash game lineup strategy for tonight. It's about 12:10 in the afternoon here where I'm at in Decatur, Georgia. So of course, I will be making some adjustments. A lot of things will probably be changed. But to recap it, at pitcher, definitely Rick Porcello for the Boston Red Sox. I think he's the safe play. I'm taking a tournament approach, and I'm going to use Matt Boyd. And for the lineup, the main cash game guys are David Ortiz, Josh Donaldson at third base, Corey Seager at shortstop, and the Coors Field exposure, David Dahl at in the outfield position. But that's pretty much it for my lineup strategy for today. I'm gonna put the video to a close. Definitely want to thank everyone who's taking the time out to view this video. Thanks to everyone who subscribed to the YouTube channel. We're up to like 45 subscribers now. Thanks to everyone who's joined the Facebook group. Just search hashtag #BeTheBestDFS. Thank you to everyone who's following the Twitter account at @BeTheBestDFS. And lastly, thank you to everyone who's following on Instagram at @BeTheBestDFS. I'm back today. I don't have to work. I will be posting my official cash game lineup tonight. The last time I posted it, it didn't work out too well for me, but hopefully y'all won in y'all contest. But I do plan to post my cash game lineup tonight. The cash game lineup that I just went over, I may even use it in tournaments because I know Boyd is like a risky play, so that might work out in tournaments for me. But again, yeah, thanks everyone for all the support. This week I will be coming out with an NFL video for football. I'm so excited. I'm gonna come out with a video about just tips and playing NFL DFS. So make sure y'all look out for that. Probably gonna make it about on Thursday. But that's about all I got. About 7 hours away from log time. Hopefully y'all find this video helpful and you like it. If you do, just please subscribe. Give me some feedback. If y'all want me to start talking more about the tournament lineups, I'll go back to that. Or I'll just stay talking about cash games. Just trying to help out as many people as I can. But again, thank you everyone for taking the time out to watch this video. Good luck today. Hope your lineups are successful and hope you all can win some money. And I'll leave y'all with what I always leave y'all with. Try to be the best tonight. All right, I'm out.